In our first story, scientists in the country are asking government to increase investments into science and technology to accelerate national development. Currently, Ghana spends less than 0.5% of its GDP on research, which scientists say is woefully inadequate. They embarked on the march in Accra on Saturday, themed March for Science, to drum home the point. I will bring you a News Desk report.
The March for Science is a global event that saw scientists and science-loving people walk in more than 230 cities across the world. In Ghana, the march was led by scientists at the Alliance for Science Ghana, and the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research was under the theme, Building Ghana, Let's End Poverty and Environmental Destruction Through Science-Informed Actions. The 8-kilometer walk saw the scientists display placards with various inscriptions asking government to increase percentage of GDP it invests in research to 3.5% and also to end environmental destruction. Chairman of Parliament Environment, Science and Technology Committee, Emmanuel Ejakon, joined the march. He told a forum after the walk, science is the sure way to transform the country.
The amount of rubbish that is created in New York City alone probably supersedes that is created in the whole of this country. But they have found a way, and that way is science and technology. It is not magic. You know, sometimes the problem I have is that we are gradually getting into a culture where we are making our people think that it is magic, it is superstition, it is prayers that will solve our problems. Look at the movies we watch. African movies, any problem must be solved by fetish or magic or the pastor. Witches don't solve problems. If witches exist, they are destructive. What solves problem is science, it's technology, and it's innovation.
Retired scientist and patron of Alliance for Science Ghana, Dr. Margaret Atikpo, wants government to give a lot more money for research.
I think government should be up and doing in funding science and technology, and also encouraging industries to put a percentage of whatever profits they make into science and technology.
Science is the bedrock of every development in every country. So it is important that the government pumps in more money into the scientific world.
Some students who participated in the march say they did so to ensure ordinary members of the public understand the importance of science to national development.
Science it can almost solve every issue or every concern, every problem in life. So it has solved so many environmental issues, agricultural issues, so many. So I really love science.
If we want to move on as a country and develop in industry in every aspect in this country, I think science is the way forward.
The chiefs and people of the Intra-Chichere and the Central Region, they set up a fund to address development challenges in the area. The projects to be undertaken include a proposed bridge over River Ofin, which girls are barred by custom from crossing by canoe to go to school on Tuesdays when they are in the period of menstruation. Well, the container of the Intra-Chichere, Nana Ajekumintiamwa, says external support will supplement a combined effort of natives both home and abroad. We'll bring you Prince Apia's report.
Bad roads, poor health and sanitation, as well as education facilities are among other concerns of the people. For a start, authorities are levying residents 10 cedis and 20 cedis for non-residents of Dintra-Chechewere in support of the development fund. Krontehene Nana Ejekumintiamwa says they have had to take the initiative because government over the years has neglected them.
We've instituted a community development levy. We are entreating all our relatives or our citizens abroad and at Accra, Kumasi, wherever, to come to our aid and contribute to the development levy so what we want to urge all Ghanaians and all our citizens is that they should come and help us contribute massively to the development levy that we've instituted so that it will help build our community and build our nation Ghana.
The Community Development Fund will form a basis for accelerated infrastructure development and enhanced local standard of living. Nana Intiamwa again.
as time goes on, when our relatives come and contribute and the accounts is matured or the accounts is fully prepared, we will use some of the accounts or some of the levy for so many development, because as I'm saying, it is community development levy. So it is development. So anything that comes with development, we will use some of the money to contribute or to help. So some of those development, as I've mentioned, is education, health, and so many development. As we are having some infrastructure development, we can use some of the money or some of the levy to build school, to make a toilet facility, to make everything. So we are appealing to all our relatives living abroad and all our relatives living Accra and elsewhere to come and contribute massively to the account, so that it will help contribute and help build Chichere community.
Prince Apia reporting.
And we have to take you to the Volta region, where some traditional authorities in the Hohoe municipality have indicated they are in favor of the proposed creation of a new region in the northern part of the Volta region. They have described the move as a good cause for development, but argue the proposed demarcation contained in the petition, of which the whole municipality was divided, was done on ethnic lines, putting the Twi-dominated north against the Ewe-dominated south. Addressing a press conference in Hohoe, the paramount chief of the traditional area, Togbi Gabusu, appealed to Justice Brobe and the commission and other stakeholders to ensure that the region is not divided on ethnic lines as being proposed.
In a press statement read on his behalf by Togbi Ken of Gbivegbe, Togbi Gabusu chronicled how a delegation from the Gbi traditional area was manhandled and almost beaten during a public forum on the creation of the new region in Buemunsuta in the Jasekine district.
It was with much difficulty that I was allowed entry together with Togbe the first from the traditional area. But I was denied the opportunity of making my presentation. The district chief executive of Jaska, Mr. Aziale, informed me that we were not invited, for that matter, not expected at the function. Meanwhile, my people were being brutalized, assaulted, and tortured with attempts to burn my personal secretary's car, but for the timely intervention of the police. Even my attempt to leave the hall was refused. I was taken hostage whilst Dr. Obed Asamoah, the regional and deputy Volta regional ministers were looking on. I wonder whether the public hearing at Usuta was a democratic exercise.
According to the petition by the Joint Consultative Committee of the Chiefs and People of the proposed Oti region, the new region had been demarcated to cover 8 districts in the northern belt and 4 out of the 9 traditional areas in the Hohoe municipality. The 4 proposed traditional areas are Santro Kofi, Akpafu, Likpe, and Lolobi. However, the Gbi traditional area identifies the move as a calculated attempt to disintegrate and deny Hohoe municipality and constituency status, hence have kicked against it.
The desire for those fighting to have Hohoe out of the new creation are out to deny us a municipal status and also a constituency. Here is a case where he was taking out all the Ebe traditional areas from the proposed region. In other words, the Alavanyo, Bledi, Ble, Fotoma, and Gbi traditional make up part of the Hohoe Municipal Assembly and the Hohoe Constituency are not to be part of the new region by the proposal of Dr. Obed Asamoah. In effect, the proposal of Dr. Obed Asamoah amounts to the destruction of the Hohoe municipality and, for that matter, Hohoe constituency. The reason is simple. The municipal assembly comprises Alavanyo, Ledi, Fotome, Likpe, Ble, Sajogofi, Lolobi, Akpafu, and Gbi traditional areas. In conclusion, it is the stand of the Guineans that should there be the need to create a new region out of the existing Volta region, The Hohoe Municipality Assembly should be an essential part.
Tebiga Gabusu has warned the coalition of Volta youths not to attempt to embark on a protest against the territorial split of the Volta region in Hohoe.
About demonstration against the split.
Some people are planning to come and embark on a demonstration against the split of the region in Hohoe. I am pleading with the police and stakeholders not to allow for a demonstration to be organized in Hohoe. Chiefs from Fodome, Alavanyo, and Akpafu took turns to speak in support of the creation of the new region and proposed the new region to be christened Northern Volta, while the remaining part named Southern Volta. Fed Kwame Asari, JoyNews, Hohoe.
And so you may have heard the concerns being raised by not only the chiefs, etc., of the Hohoe area, but also other parts of the country. And that's why we're focusing on all the underlying currents and the concerns and the criticisms, but also the arguments being made in favor of the creation of the various regions. And we know that the Commission of Inquiry is already sitting. The Justice Brobe Commission has been going around the country speaking to various stakeholders. And as a result, we're going to have in the studio Professor Kojo Gavua. He is an ethnographer, but also an archaeologist and an anthropologist. He's also the Dean of the School of Art at the University of Ghana. So we'll be having him in the studio, but also a local governance expert. George Chebafo is going to be here as well. So great conversations wherever you'll be watching us from. If you know your area is just also part of the mapped out areas or identified, please make sure that you join us. We'll be opening the phone lines within that period. But let's move on. An aspirant for the Upper West regional chairmanship position of the New Patriotic Party, S.B. Kambere, says he will increase the number of presidential votes and parliamentary seats won by the MPP in the last election. Mr. Kambere said he doesn't understand why the MPP should play second fiddle to the NDC when some founders of the MPP hail from the Upper West region. He made the statement while addressing delegates of the MPP at Jarapa, and it's where Rafiq Salam reports.
If there is no seller, there can be
the former Saudi Arabia-based university lecturer, S.B. Kangbare's meeting with the delegates of the New Patriotic Party hinged on three issues. First was to react to some allegations leveled against him, including the use of money to woo global voters to his fold. Second was on the state of the MPP in the Upper West region. And lastly, his plans for the party should he be given the nod. S.B. Kangbere stated that the notion from his detractors that the MPP party in the region was for sale is not true, but rather goes on to epitomize the behavior and character of the people who are at the helm of affairs of the party in the region.
Those who say I'm coming to buy the party must have plans to sell it. And they're afraid the wrong guy will buy it. Because if I buy it, I will give it back. Perhaps they are afraid of what they have been doing. For them, everything is up for sale. Contracts are sold. Positions are sold to the highest bidder. So it seems to me that they are being haunted by their own shadows. So let's disregard this sort of talk about somebody trying to buy the party.
Even though the party moved from 0 to 5 seats in the 2016 elections, S.B. Kangbere is still not satisfied with the performance of the party, describing the 5 seats won by the party as a fluke.
I believe it's a fluke. I think that is a cock taking credit for daybreak just because it happened to crow at that time. I don't think so. To maintain the 5, yeah, I've told you, I'm aware of MPs who were given a raw deal because even party officials predicted that they will not win. and therefore they didn't resource them the way they were supposed to be resourced. Turns out that those MPs they said wouldn't win, won. So everything has to do with who is at the helm of affairs in the region. Give fair hearing to each candidate. Let the people in the district or constituency choose their preferred candidate. Don't go around cutting corners to impose candidates on people they don't want.
The 70-year-old, who claimed to have significantly given vehicles and car support to the MPP in the last 2 elections, promised to do, among other things, construct a regional party secretariat for the party and build 2-bedroom house for each constituency executive of the party in the region. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam, Jiroba.
Well, great song there. And talking about music, we know that the VGMAs, the Ghana Music Awards, was held over the weekend, and we had some great winners. Overall, we had the late Ebony being tagged as the Artist of the Year. Forget about all the things that may have happened. Good strides it is. At least she's created great history and would always be impacting our music industry even in the afterlife. But well, for all the criticisms and all the critiques and what the pundits will say, we're going to have Sally Frimpong in the studio. Also alongside Patapa will be here, and also Fancy Gadam. You know, he won with that good song in which he featured Sarkodie, Total Cheats. Makes me always remember the Member of Parliament for Tamale North, Alassane Suhuyini. Good morning to you, Mr. Suhuyini. But we'll do the newspapers very soon. I'll be joined by Maviu Sabwaje. We'll also be looking at the various sports stories. We'll review the various online portals. We know that Manchester City eventually, they were able to overcome Tottenham this weekend. And so, well, with the remaining matches coming up, they still were crowned or were able to annex the English Premiership. And that will mean that even for the matches that will be remaining, they will be the ultimate winners at the end of the season. Do stay on. We'll have a lot more for you on the show.